Hey traders, John Howell here. Let's have a look at the markets. We actually could be getting ready for a bit of a pullback in the actual stock market right now. Not a crash, but we may be getting a bit of a steep pullback coming, and I want to share that with you. So let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, so I am running a 30-day risk-free access to my coaching program. If you want to try out my coaching program, you can do that for 30 days. That very first link in the description there, guys, you can click on that and you can get all the details to that to actually just start getting access to my top coaching program. You can try it all out. I'm so confident that my coaching program and my systems, my strategies, what I teach is the best on the planet that I'm willing to let you try it out for 30 days. So link in the description there, guys. Go click on that right now. So I started off this video, guys, with the analogy or the saying of that we could be getting ready for a pullback in the stock market, right? So we've seen that about the top 5 stocks, say in the S&P 500, are the thing that's really pulling up the S&P 500, or even the Nasdaq, right? The Nasdaq's having really, really good moves as well. So if that's the case of these big stocks like Nvidia and Google and Facebook and so on and so forth, if that is the case, then what's likely to happen if they have been the one that's been really pulling this market up, then once they all pull back, and they all will have a pullback, right? Once they all pull back, then we are likely to see the overall market pullback, right? It just makes sort of sense there. So the very first thing is we can see on the first thing I do say is when you look at so when you're looking at the actual Nasdaq itself, we can see the Nasdaq itself has actually hit an area of resistance through there. It's probably so it's actually hit an area of resistance. You can see what actually happened today. It gapped up. It actually hit that area of resistance around the 13,200. And then came back down and settled low through there. So that's what we're seeing through there when it comes to the Nasdaq and what's going on through there. We can see the S&P 500, not really much going on the S&P 500. We can see that we've had this little high, low, high, low, high, low, and we're still making a move to the upside. So things are still moving to the upside from here. But if the whole thesis of that, the top 5 stocks, Apple, Facebook, Nvidia, stuff like that, are really the things that's really dragging these markets up, then it makes sense, right, that if they are going to start to see movements on the downside, then so should the market itself, right, or the S&P 500 in the stock market and the Nasdaq and so on and so forth. So if we go and have a look at those stocks, we go look at, say, Meta, right? So we look at Meta first, Facebook, and we see what that's been doing. So firstly, if we just understand how markets work, we know markets never just go up in a straight line. And the further they go up in a straight line, the further that we are likely to have a pullback in the markets. Now, when I say pullback, guys, it means that the market's been going up for a while and we just get a pullback. I'm not talking about a whole complete falling off a cliff and that's it, the end of the world is coming, right? Pullback. A pullback simply means that, the market's going up and we get pullbacks. Market goes down, pullbacks, right? So we get pullback that's all I'm talking about here is just a simple overall pullback in the market. So we can see that if we do know that if the market goes up for quite some time and it will come to a point where we get some sort of a pullback, right? Before it may do something like that again. So if we have a look at what Meta's been doing, right, from this low point through this high point up here, we can see that through there. Right, so then we can see that there's going to come a point in time, it may be now, it may be for the next couple of days, we don't know exactly when, but there will come a point in time where the market says, okay, then now we need to actually have a bit of a pullback first before we start to see possibly this move to the upside. And so that is coming really, really, really soon. I don't know exactly the exact day that that's coming, but that is coming, and we're probably likely to get a really good pullback. And I would say, when we're looking at, say, 50% levels, we could actually get a really, really strong pullback out of this level through here, and get a 50 or even down to the 200 level somewhere there. If we go have a look at the weekly charts, we can see that there's a really good strong area of support and resistance around I'd have to say around that level through, say somewhere maybe even through there. So it could even be a possible pullback down towards this level through here, which is around that 220 level. So possibly somewhere around about that level through there. And it may just be that level through there. It may be a bit lower than that. It may be even going down towards that maybe 200 level. Looks like it's a nice round number that we may even get a pullback to. Again, it may not be today, guys, but I am expecting to see the stock market to actually have some, or these markets have a bit of a pullback here. And if we have a look at things like, so that's that one there. That's now that we look at Apple. Apple's doing the same thing, right? Apple has just been continuing to grind higher without very much of a pullback throughout. Just continue to move up. We're almost at new highs, so we may have a little bit more push. We may have a little bit more push to the upside out of these stocks, right? And we may get a little bit more of a push to the upside, but then we're probably going to see a nice little reversal or retracement out of this level here. Once again, a nice 50% retracement. Would bring it back down to around about that 160, 150. And again, guys, that's just a nice, healthy bull market. If we look at these weekly charts, you can see that that's just a nice, healthy. That'll be a nice, healthy correction through there. So expect that to come soon. But then I expect something like that to come out of, let's say we're looking at Apple there, and we look at stocks like Nvidia, so NVDA, right? And Nvidia is doing the exact same, or the sort of things as well too. If we have a look at Nvidia, we can see what? We can see just how vertical this thing has been. And it's actually the wrong time to be getting into NVIDIA. If you're trying to buy NVIDIA right now because you think it's now it's time, a lot of the amateurs are getting in here right now. And I promise you guys, this is going to suck you in big time. Because once again, we understand how do markets work. They go for a run for a while, and then they go for pullbacks, right? It's gone for a run for a while. It may go for a run just a little bit more. And then guess what's going to come? We're probably going to get a big pullback. We're probably going to get a pullback to come down and close this gap as well too. I'm not saying you definitely wouldn't want to be short in the markets, but it just keeps you out of trades that you shouldn't be involved with, right? So you shouldn't be going long these markets when the market has made a really big move to the upside. Makes sense? And we've also got stocks like also Google as well too. Google has always also made a really strong move to the upside. It's actually hit that area of resistance, as you can see. And now we're just sort of just going sideways through here, just up, sideways, up. If we have a look at my moving average, you can see here that what happens, right? So we have a look at this moving average here, and we can see that, and there we go, waiting for my software to load up. There we go. Right, so I would expect to see that this market's probably going to continue going sideways through it, and we may get this moving average coming up before we get something like that, and then maybe getting ready to go again as well too. So you can see it had a bit of a sideways movement and a move up. It's actually beautiful when that happens. You can see here move up, sideways, and a very strong moving average is really good, really powerful pattern to be trading these markets. So all in all, traders, especially when we're looking at even the Nasdaq itself as well, we can see the Nasdaq now. A lot of people were calling pullbacks and so on and so forth. I am calling for a pullback out of the markets and not a complete crash. A pullback is just simply that. We can see where the stock market is. So the Nasdaq may get a bit of a pullback, maybe down to that level there before we have another move to the upside from there. But that's all I see from there. It's not for people that are short this market, it's not like, oh, here we go, here's the next big crash. Because guess what's going on right now, guys? We're in a very big, strong upward trend, and it's just all it is. It's just a due for a pullback, and if those stocks do start to see that pullback, which we will, then it's going to probably pull basically the entire market down with it, within that pullback through there. So hope that helped you out today there, traders. Once again, traders, if you do need some help, then make sure you click on that link in the description there and go get that 30-day access to my top coaching program. And again, I'm so confident that my systems, my strategies, my coaching is the best, that I'm giving you 30 days risk. I'm giving you 30-day risk-free access to try out my coaching program. First thing in the description there, guys, and I'll see you real soon.